Hello there and welcome to my chaos. So I thought that today I could make predictions about what Disney and Disney Pixar villains I predict are going to be coming soon to Disney Dreamlight Valley. Well, not soon, but just like in general. Who's coming to Disney Dreamlight Valley? I feel like in this next chapter for Disney Dreamlight Valley, we're gonna see, I think the forgetting is still going to play a big role, but I think the villains are going to start playing a little bit more of a role. You know what I mean? I think they're going to be a bigger deal now. I think everything's going to finally start unfolding. So I have 5 categories here. We have the 100% coming category, like they're gonna give it to us, period. We have a probably coming to Disney Dreamlight Valley category, like they're popular, but we're not 100% certain that we're getting them. We have some maybes, like we have probably not, and a 0.01% chance of coming, because I don't want to say that they're not going to add someone, because you never know. You never know what they have down the line. But just slim to none chance of them coming to Disney Dreamlight Valley. Also, feel free to let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with any of my predictions, or if I missed any Disney villains. I don't think I did. I did leave out a few, like the one from Dinosaur and the ones from like Cars and stuff, just because they're massive and they don't fit the vibe at all. I mean, I guess I could have put them in there and put them in no chance of coming, but whatever. Let me know if I missed any. We're gonna put on my little blue light glasses, protect my eyeballs, and let's get started. So first up, we have Miss Anastasia and Drizella from Cinderella. Now, they're very popular, I would think. They're funny. They would add a lot of interest to the game, but I wouldn't say that there's a 100% chance that they're going to give it to us in the game. So I'm going to put them at probably coming. I love them. I would love to see them in the game bickering with each other and, you know what? Well, we'll save it for later. But they could definitely like argue with Maui about like who's prettier, and it just, I don't know. It would be really funny to hear them complaining about the princesses and them thinking that they're prettier than the princesses and stuff. Like, I don't know. Really funny. We have Otto from WALL-E. She's like, if you don't remember, she's like part of the ship. I don't even know why I included her. She's not coming. She's just, it wouldn't make any sense. How would they do it? I mean, it's always possible that they could have some of these characters in realms or on islands. Like, they don't necessarily live on our island or in Disney Dreamlight Valley, but could have them as like enemies, possibly. I don't know. Even if we were to see something like that happen, I mean maybe. I'm gonna leave her at 0.01% chance. All right, next up we have Dawn Bellwether from Zootopia, the little sheep, the twist villain. I mean, she was fine, I guess. Like, she was a pretty decent villain. She was a good plot twist villain, like that cute fluffy sheep. You wouldn't suspect her to be a villain. She was great for the movie, but do I see her adding anything to the valley? Probably not. But to the point where I don't think she's gonna be coming. I don't see her coming at all. Charles Muntz from Up. He's just not iconic enough. I'm gonna put him at 0.01% chance of coming. He was interesting, but I don't know. I don't see him coming. Chef Skinner from Ratatouille. No, it would be kind of funny. Remy and his restaurant are fairly large parts of the game, so it would be kind of interesting and add a little bit of something for Remy himself to kind of have a villain, and he's working against someone with his like restaurant. So I don't know. I wouldn't say he's the strongest villain. He's barely, I guess he's a villain. He's an antagonist for sure. I wouldn't say he's iconic, but I don't know. He would definitely add some interest to the game though. But do I see him living and walking around the valley? I don't know. He's like somewhere between maybe and probably not. I'm gonna put him at maybe, just because I would love to see some kind of rivalry for Remy, like something going on with Remy and his restaurant. I feel like that could add a little bit of drama to the game. So I'm gonna leave him at maybe. Clayton, I love Tarzan. Tarzan is not my favorite Disney movie, but my favorite movie, period. So yes, my favorite Disney movie, but I love Tarzan. 12 out of 10 film. Do I see Clayton coming to the valley though? I'm gonna put him at 0.01% chance. He hunts gorillas, right? Like his main purpose is to hunt gorillas. How would that fit in Disney Dream? It wouldn't fit in with Disney Dreamlight Valley. I was gonna say I love him. Clayton is a great villain for the movie, but I don't see him fitting in with any possible storylines in Disney Dreamlight Valley. The ringleader from Dumbo, no. What's his name? Edgar Balthazar from the Aristocats, no. What's his name? I don't even remember. Ernesto de la Cruz. He was pretty iconic, right? He was pretty cool. He was another one of those plot twist villains, I think. I'm gonna put him at maybe, because the Day of the Dead would be a really awesome like addition to the game. I don't know, like kind of like maybe having kind of like not an underworld, not like a Hades kind of thing, but like this weird between, like, I don't know, just I don't know how to like name it, but kind of I guess like the living dead, a place where the dead is alive but not necessarily like the underworld, like The Land and the Corpse Bride, The Day of the Dead. Maybe we could go to DrFacilier's, like the other side the other side is what I'm talking about. That would be interesting, like, you know, I don't know. I'm gonna put him at a maybe. He was pretty cool if I remember correctly. Hades, I'm trying to think if he's 100% chance coming or probably coming, because obviously one of the most iconic Disney villains of all time. Is it 100%? Are we getting Hades? There's no way. They had Hercules in the new speed running game. I don't remember what it's called. Speed Runner, the Disney go-kart game, the Mario Kart Disney game. Okay, they had Hercules in that, so they definitely have Hercules on their mind. But they had a Well of Souls for the Halloween Villains Star Path in October. Dreamscape really do be looking like Mount Olympus. I'm gonna say 100% chance. How could they not give us Hades, right? Like, he's one of the most iconic Disney villains ever. It's not one of my favorite Disney films. Really, it's not. I don't like the humor in it. It's just too much for me. But Hades. Okay, from Pinocchio, there's Honest John and Gideon. Very cute characters. I love Honest John. Now, if you saw my video about possible biomes, I also talked about maybe some islands that we could be visiting. And I did bring up Pleasure Island from Pinocchio being like a phenomenal place for our avatar to explore, especially since it's about not growing up, correct? Pinocchio is definitely top 5 favorite Disney films for me, but it's been a minute since I've seen it. I think Pleasure Island's about like not growing up, correct? Or maybe it's about like children pretending. I guess it's about children pretending like they're grown-ups, right? But like not growing up, is that? Like they make donkeys out of themselves. I feel like Pleasure Island would fit in great with the storyline. So that would make me think, if they do add Pleasure Island, but Honest John wasn't in charge of Pleasure Island. That like weird creepy guy was. What was his name? Hold on. I gotta look it up. I've left out a few. Okay, we have, look at all these that I left out. Look at all these that I left. Oh, I gotta add them on there. I gotta add them on there. I love that I literally have Stromboli on my shirt. I just saw him. Where is he? Stromboli. Oh, he's like right here. Right here. And I just didn't even think about him. Why did I miss all of the Pinocchio villains? I don't know. I guess I just thought of Honest John and Gideon and moved on from there. Okay, so moving on. We're gonna do the Pinocchio characters. So Honest John and Gideon, I'm gonna say probably not. I think they could be interesting. I'm not gonna rule them out completely, because I feel like if they were to add Pinocchio to the game, it would just open up all of this cool stuff. You could do stuff with like clocks, and you could have what's his name? I forgot his name. Geppetto. You could have Geppetto doing like all this weird stuff. And also if we go to different islands, having something to do with Monstro. I would love to see Monstro in the game. Like obviously not someone who's living on the island. Not the island. The valley. Not someone who's living on the valley, but someone we can interact with, someone who's a villain. If the villains are going to start playing a bigger role in Disney Dreamlight Valley, which we can maybe assume based on the end of credits trailer with like Jafar coming in and him, he kind of seemed like a big deal, right? I don't know, I feel like villains might play a bigger role. We're gonna do the Pinocchio characters really quick, so I think I'm gonna put Monstro at a maybe. Just because if we're going to different islands, if we're going to get like an underwater biome, if the sea is going to be a big deal at all, he would be a great addition, right? Right. We also have the Coachman from Pinocchio. He would be cool for Pleasure Island. I don't see him walking around the valley though. But if we have Pleasure Island on the game, surely he would be there, right? Surely he would be. I don't see him living in the valley, but I could see him on Pleasure Island getting our character into a bunch of trouble. So I'm gonna put him at a probably not. And then Stromboli, I'm gonna put him at a probably not too. All right, Hopper from Bug's Life, probably not. I don't see him coming. He's just so small. Unless they were to add Bug's Life characters. We have King Candy from Wreck-It Ralph. He could be interesting. I'm gonna put him at a maybe. Lady Tremaine from Cinderella. If we're getting Anastasia and Drizella, we gotta have the evil stepmother, you know. So I'm gonna put her at probably coming, not 100% certain. She's definitely another one of those super popular Disney villains, but yeah, probably coming. Not 100% certain, but probably coming. We have Madame Medusa from the Great Mouse, not the Great Mouse Detective, from the Rescuers. I don't know what she would add to the story that Cruella couldn't. I'm gonna put her at 0.01% chance of coming. I don't see her coming. Governor Radcliffe, I love him. Not sure what he would do for the storyline. I think he's a fairly iconic Disney villain, but he's not one of like the top ones. He's also, I don't know. I don't see him adding too much to a storyline. I'm gonna put him at probably not. Queen of Hearts, she would add so much chaos, like in the best way. We need, you know they're gonna give us Alice in Wonderland. You know they're gonna give us Wonderland, right? But the Queen of Hearts herself, yeah, 100%. I'm gonna put her at 100% chance of coming. There is no way. She would add so much drama. So much. She just like walks around. Her and Donald can throw tantrums together, and she can say off with your head, and Donald can go off with your head, and they're just like screaming at each other. I don't know, apparently people don't like Donald screaming. I like Donald and his temper tantrums, okay? I think it's cute, but I don't know, I think it'd be fun. So I'm gonna put her at 100% chance of coming. Captain Hook, iconic. We're getting Captain Hook, okay? We have Skull Rock. We have Skull Rock from Disney's Peter Pan, okay? That's a Captain Hook thing. It's not a Peter Pan thing. I mean, it's obviously it's a Peter Pan thing, but that's a pirate thing. That was where they drop off Tiger Lily, right? That's where Captain Hook goes to drop off Tiger Lily, and that's like the cave that they fight in, I think. Yeah. Captain Hook has something to do with Skull Rock, okay? We're getting Captain Hook. All right, next up we have Aunt Sarah from Lady and the Tramp. I'm gonna say she's probably not coming. I don't even know if we're getting Lady and the Tramp. I mean, they'd be super cute. Especially since Lady doesn't talk to the humans. She could be a companion, her and Tramp. Actually, now that I think about it. But I don't see them playing major parts in the game. I mean, maybe. But probably not. You You know she's coming. You know she's like the top boss. You know she's the final boss. Move, Hades. Move out of the way. She's going first. Maleficent's going first, okay? Get out of her way. She goes right there. We'll put Captain Hook second. All right, Cruella. She would be so fun. I wouldn't say that she's 100% chance coming, but probably. I could definitely see her. She'd be so fun. Oh, her and Mother Gothel. Could you imagine those conversations? That would be amazing. I would love to hear those two having a conversation. Yeah, they're probably coming. Ooh, and her and Lady Tremaine getting into an argument, they would not get along, I feel. They would both think they're above each other. Like, oh, look at what she wears. Oh, look at what she wears. But I feel like Mother Gothel would probably get along with both of them. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Madame Mim from The Sword and the Stone. I think she would be super fun because she's kind of like Maleficent in a way. I mean, she's not like Maleficent, but she can do transfiguration, right? And that's really cool. Also, it would be really sad for Merlin to be the only one from Sword in the Stone in the valley. I doubt we would get... What's his name? Arthur? I don't even know. His name wasn't Arthur, was it? Was it Newt? Or something? Wart. I typed in Newt. His name was Wart. I'm like, but they didn't reveal till like the end that his name was Arthur, right? I thought I was recalling that correctly. Okay, Wart. I mean, maybe he could come. He's not a very strong character. He's just, you know, he's the pants character. He's the boring main character. He's fine. He's whatever. Merlin steals the show. But Madame Mim, Madame Mim. Madame Mim is a piece of work, okay? Look at her! She's phenomenal! I think Madame Mim would be a great chaotic choice to add to the valley. That way also Merlin's not the only one from his movie in Disney Dreamlight Valley. So would they add her? I don't know. I'm gonna put her at a maybe. Just because personally, I would love to see it. Not because, not thinking from, I mean, well, from their perspective, just to add someone from Merlin, from his universe. Merlin and her just like getting into arguments all the time would be hilarious. So I would love to see it. I would love Madame Mim causing chaos all around the valley. Really, I would. She would probably be one of my best friends, honestly. I would happily be friends with Madame Mim. She's phenomenal, okay. All right, then I have Prince John from Robin Hood. I don't know that they would add Robin Hood. I mean, he would be a fun choice. I wouldn't say that there's no chance of him coming. I'm gonna put him at probably not. He would be fun. From The Fox and the Hound, we have Amos. I'm gonna say we're probably not going to see Fox and the Hound in Disney Dreamlight Valley. We have the Horned King from the Black Cauldron. And I always forget that the Black Cauldron is a Disney movie. I don't know, it's one of those that slips my mind all the time. Like, I think of Fun and Fancy Free and Make Mine Music before I think about the Black Cauldron, right? I don't know why. It just doesn't seem Disney for some reason. Not that it's a bad movie. I don't know, it's not, I don't know, I always forget about it. The Horned King is very scary and very evil. Honestly, I would be surprised if Disney mentioned the Black Cauldron at all. Maybe that's why. Maybe because the Black Cauldron is like the only movie that I never see anything, and I mean anything about. Like, I see The Rescuers, I see Fun and Fancy Free, Ichabod and Mr. Toad, like Atlantis, Treasure Planet even, like they mention or talk about, or like you see their other movies, but you see nothing ever about the Black Cauldron. It's just non-existent in the world. I think they forgot about it. I think they themselves forgot about the Black Cauldron. So I'm gonna put him at not coming. I think he would be a cool villain, but I don't see Disney acknowledging the film at all. All right, Ratigan from The Great Mouse Detective, not coming. Bill Sykes from Oliver and Company, not coming. The Rescuers Down Under, we have Percival McLeish, not coming. Gaston, I would be mad if they didn't give us Gaston, quite frankly. Imagine him and Maui. Imagine him and Maui going at it about who is prettier, who has the best hair, who's stronger. Obviously, all of the above goes to Gaston, not Maui. Him walking around with a mirror in hand, flexing, him and Maui getting into like flex offs. It would just be so funny. It would be so funny. There's no way they're not going to give us Gaston. There's no way. Also, we've seen like a house that it looks like it's from Beauty and the Beast. It has like deer, like a it has like a deer head on the top, like a, not an actual deer head, like it looks like a wood deer head or something. You're not gonna see Belle or LeFou with that on their house. Who are you gonna see with a deer head on their house? Gaston. Gaston. There's no way. There's no way they're not giving it to us. We have to get Gaston. We have Jafar, who we know more than anybody else is coming, but I'm still gonna put him below Maleficent because there's only one villain that goes above Maleficent, and we'll get there. All right, well, whatever. We'll get there. Frollo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Definitely an iconic villain, an unforgettably terrible villain, but because he's so realistic and just the type of villain he is, Maleficent, Jafar, Captain Hook, they're fun villains. They bad, but they fun. Frollo? No, he's too realistic. It would make me uncomfortable for him to be in the game. I think it would make a lot of people uncomfortable because he's just so sick. I don't see him coming to the game. I think it would be a bad move on Disney's part. Like he does a great job in his film. There's a place for him in his film. Hunchback of Notre Dame is probably my second or third favorite Disney movie. Amazing, wonderful, beautiful film. Hands down. But Frollo being added to the Valley, no, he's not a fun villain. He's a terrible villain, which is good for the movie. We love him in the movie. We don't love him. We don't love to hate him. We just hate him. He's great in his movie. We don't need him in the Valley. All right, Shan Yu from Mulan. He's another one that's like really bad. He's not Frollo bad. I mean, I guess he probably technically kills more people, but it just, Frollo's just nasty. Shan Yu, I don't know. He's another like realistic bad, and not like a super fun bad, just kind of bad. So I'm gonna put him at probably not. Commander from Atlantis. I mean, we know Atlantis is going to be in the game. They're not saying it's Atlantis. Like they have it listed as ancient civilization under items. Obviously it's Atlantis, but they're not even calling it that. So it's gonna play like a huge part in the game. We don't know what it means yet, but we know it's coming. The commander, because we're getting Atlantis and because it's probably going to be a big part of the game, I'm gonna put him at a maybe. If we weren't seeing Atlantis stuff, I probably would have put him at a not coming, but because like they're gonna do something. They're gonna do something with it, right? So I'm gonna put him at a maybe. John Silver from Treasure Planet. They haven't brought up Treasure Planet at all. But I could see them doing some really interesting stuff with it. Like if they can pull off Atlantis in the game, I don't see Treasure Planet being too far off from it, I guess. I don't know. I think it could add some interest to the game. So I'm not gonna say not coming. I'm gonna put him at a probably not, just because I think far into the future of the game, maybe, but at the very least not anytime soon, if at all, I guess. Captain Gantu, I don't remember, from Lilo and Stitch. He's just so large, like very large. I don't think he's gonna come to the game. Almeda Slim from Home on the Range. I was gonna say it's one that I also forget, but it's actually not one that I forget. I consider it one of Disney's worst movies of all time. So that's why I don't forget it. Like, The Black Cauldron is not a bad movie. Home on the Range? What were they thinking? I'm sorry. What were you thinking? Really? I don't mean to be negative, but what? Disney. Home on the Range. No, not coming at all. Bowler Hat Guy. Okay, Meet the Robinsons. I feel like that's a Disney movie that's often sat on, but it's actually just a really good film. Like, that is a solid movie. It's another one that's like forgotten about, but it's so Disney. I mean, they're talking about like keep moving forward, and it just, it's a good movie, right? But Disney doesn't acknowledge it at all for some reason. I guess it bombed in the box office, maybe. It's so good though. Bowler Hat Guy, I'm gonna put him at probably not. I'm not gonna rule him out. He's probably not coming because Disney just simply doesn't acknowledge Meet the Robinsons. But Bowler Hat Guy as a villain himself, I feel like could add a lot to the game. He's really silly, he's really funny. His hat could do a whole bunch of silly things. I feel like, I don't know. I'm not gonna rule him out completely. All right, from Bolt, we have Dr. Calico. Bolt is another one that I forget about. Honestly, I probably remember The Black Cauldron before I remember Bolt. I probably remember The Black Cauldron before I even remembered Bolt. DrFacilier, he's one of the most iconic Disney villains in a long, oh my god, Princess and the Frog was 10 years ago. Over 10, oh my god, it's 10 and a half years ago, right? It came out, no wait, it came out 2011. Oh my god. Wait a minute. Wow, that was a long time ago. Wow. Disney, where are your iconic villains? Where was the last iconic villain? Mother Gothel's not iconic. I'm sorry. She did good in her movie. So did Hans. They're not iconic. DrFacilier is iconic. I'm gonna say probably, definitely, probably. I have given no hints that DrFacilier is coming. So for now, I'm gonna put him at probably coming, but I definitely hope he's coming. Like, he's one of my favorites. Hans is another one of those like realistic villains. Honestly, he did a great job in the movie. He was great for the movie. Is he gonna add anything fun to the game? Not really. I think it would just make Anna uncomfortable and not in a fun way. So I'm gonna put him at probably not coming. From Big Hero 6, we have Yokai. Honestly, forgettable. I could see us getting Baymax in the game for sure. I don't see him coming, honestly. We have Namari. I mean, she wasn't really even, she was more of like an antagonist than she was a villain. I don't even know if they're gonna add Rhea. If they did add Rhea, I feel like it would just be her. I'm gonna put her at not coming. I don't see her coming, right? If they add Rhea and the Last Dragon to the game, I feel like the only character we're gonna get from that is, or am I pronouncing that wrong? Raya? Is it Raya? Rhea? I don't know. Whatever. Rhea. I'm just gonna call her Rhea because I've been doing that. She would be the only one that comes from it, I feel like. We also have this villain from Wish. What's his name? Evil King Magnifico? Magnifico? King Magnifico. I'm gonna put him at maybe because we don't know what's coming with that film. Will it be I feel like it's probably going to be a success. It's going to be a big deal, right? I don't even know if he actually is a villain. They say that they're going to have the like scariest Disney villain of all time, but I feel like it's going to be more of like an emotional thing. Like it's that maybe it manifested as a person, because like it's all about wishing. So maybe he's like the manifestation of a wish dying, like cynicalness. I don't know how to put it into words. Right? We don't really know much about him, so I'm just gonna leave him at a maybe, mostly because we don't know what's going on with that. We don't know what's going on with when is Wish coming out? Probably November. What, right? That's typically when they release them. November. You know I'll be seeing that. All right, next I have Zurg. It would just be so funny to see him and Buzz Lightyear shooting at each other, like, but would they at him? Would they? I could see him coming before any of the other characters. I'll put him at a maybe. I think he'd be fun. I don't know that he's coming, but I don't know. He'd be cute. Randall from Monsters, Inc. Honestly, he'd be kind of cool. He could like sneak up on you. Like you could not know that he's there and then suddenly he like appears. Actually, we're gonna put him at a maybe. Not a probably coming, a maybe. We have this guy from Monsters Incorporated. What is that? Anyway, this guy from Monsters Incorporated, probably not. I don't, if they're gonna add a Monsters Incorporated villain, it's gonna be Randall. Randall's more fun. He was cool. He did a great job in his film. I just don't see him coming to the Valley. Syndrome, honestly, I feel like he would be a really solid choice to come to the Valley. I'm gonna put that probably coming. Like, I see us getting the Incredibles in the future, right? At least Mr. Incredible, if not all of them. And Syndrome would just be, I don't know, I think he'd be really cool in the Valley. I think he would add a lot to the game. And if we're adding islands to the game, we could have like a Syndrome Island. I talked all about it. Well, I didn't talk much about Syndrome's Island, but I talked about it in my last, like my biome prediction video. So, I don't know. I think it'd be really cool. Maybe, no, I'm gonna keep him at probably coming. I think he's a solid choice for a villain. We have the king. The king of all kings. King Disney villain. The only villain that would go higher than Maleficent on the pyramid is Chernobog. The one, the only Chernobog from Fantasia, in case you don't know. Basically the representation of all things that are evil, but fun. My prediction is that the mountain on the valley, or volcano, or whatever it is Bald Mountain from Fantasia. Maleficent probably lives on the mountain, or like she's hiding up there doing something, right? She's got something to do with everything that's going on in the Forgotten Lands. That's completely her vibe. But I mean, he's literally a mountain. Chernobog himself is a mountain. Now, he's obviously not going to live in the valley. He's the size of a mountain, but I would be surprised if he's not in the game. I wouldn't say that I'm 100% certain about this. He would be the only one that I put above Maleficent. I don't know if they're going to take that in that direction. These are just my predictions. I would love to see it. I know Disney. I am a Disney person. I grew up obsessed with Disney. I stayed obsessed with Disney. I understand them. I understand their thinking. And so, and especially if they're going to add obscure films like Atlantis. If they're adding obscure films, why wouldn't they add Chernobog? It's not like they've completely forgotten about Chernobog. There was a parade float in SpectroMagic that was Chernobog, and he would like unfold his wings. He was like a mountain or a volcano or whatever, and then he would unfold his wings to reveal himself. So I mean, he's also in Fantasmic, so they acknowledge his existence. They are aware that he's Chernobog. Oh, isn't he in the Boot to You parade? I think he's on the parade float too. It's not as cool as the SpectroMagic parade float, but anyway, I'm like getting into Disney park stuff. I live in Central Florida. I worked at Magic Kingdom for 7 years, in case didn't know. It looks like Chernobog, right? Like, here's his lovely little wings and his horns. And those are the Forgotten Lands mountains, right? It's Bald Mountain, right? Personally, I think it's Chernobog. I think it is. I think he's folded up on the mountain. I think it's gonna be a big thing. I think Maleficent probably lives up there. She's hiding out up there because he only comes out on Halloween night. I'm gonna put him at probably coming. I'm gonna put him at the top though, because I don't know, that might not be what they're doing. It might just be Maleficent's mountain. Let's look at Maleficent's mountain. She doesn't even have like a mountain. It's really just a castle on top of a mountain. I think it's Chernobog. Really, I do. The Evil Queen. You have to have the Evil Queen. I wouldn't say that she's 100% chance coming. Look at how beautiful she looks right next to Maleficent. They would be best friends. Best friends. Because like Maleficent's beautiful. She's like green, right? So I feel like the Evil Queen wouldn't find her to be like a threat, I guess. So they'd be like best friends. I don't know. But I'm gonna put Evil Queen at probably coming because she's very iconic. From the Jungle Book, we have Shere Khan. Honestly, he's giving Scar energy and we don't need two Scars. Scar is Scar. So I'm gonna put him at probably not. Like maybe, but I doubt it. We have Sid from Toy Story. I don't know. He's like nasty. He like tortures toys. Which doesn't sound bad. Except when the toys are alive, he's essentially torturing living things. I don't. I'm gonna put him at probably not. I don't think Sid's gonna come. We have Tamatoa from Moana. Now, if they do something with like an underwater realm, which I mean, looking at the Moana items and looking at like Ariel's house and Ursula's house, I feel like I feel like it is within the realm of possibility of us getting an underwater biome, and or at the very least us going underwater at some point, because we also have wetsuits. Maybe we could interact with Tamatoa. Maybe we're on a journey to find something and he has it. I don't know. I'm gonna put him at maybe. If they give us an underwater something to do, I would say he's probably coming, but we don't know that for sure just yet. So I'm gonna put him at a maybe. The Headless Horseman. The Headless Horseman, iconic, iconic. Is he coming? I don't know, because they'd have to add a whole horse to the game. Also, where would he live? How would you talk to him? There'll be a lot of things that would need to be worked out, but he's just so cool. So I'm gonna put him at maybe, just because I hope that he comes to it. Okay, and then we have Miss Yzma, who is adorably chaotic, kind of like a Madame Mim thing going on. I'm gonna put her at probably coming because she's quite popular. She's iconic, she's popular, she's liked, she's silly. I think should be a nice little villain friend to add to the valley. But it looks like that's the list. So let me know if you guys agree or disagree with any of the predictions that I have, or if I missed any villains. And yeah, subscribe to my channel for more Disney Dreamlight Valley and other chaotic cozy gaming content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!